All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome. Late Night Crypto Talk. Getting ready to get started here. Hope you guys have had a good Wednesday so far. It's been a very productive day today. Let's see, who do we have on the line so far? We've got Angela Payne, Letitia Hill, Terry Hubbard, Loretta, Mahfouz, Stan Williams, Asmaret, favorite girl from the UK, Chevy, we're still waiting to get your crypto education on, my friend. Gerald Gardner, congratulations, I heard you got another mining machine. Rack 'em up. Miss Kathy Keene from Hawaii. Lee Dickey. Okay, so hurry up, B. 25 minutes before your next call, so you got a call coming up at 6:30 my time, 3:30 your time. Chuck Dale, Justice. It's happening, Stan? No problem. Anytime you need help, that's the one you want to use. kgxsolutions@gmail.com. Eric Augustin, welcome. Jesse Rojas. I've known Jesse since he was 16 years old. Proud of you, Jesse. Congratulations on your little man getting bigger. Bigger and bigger. Time flies by fast. Alright, as a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be dispensing financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestions, and it is up to you to make an informed, productive decision. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. I will not work with or invest with anybody who does not take their crypto education seriously. Rule number 2, never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get your return on investment back as fast as possible. Don't get greedy. And rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? Plan it out. I always tell people, especially in the crypto space, you are one decision and 60 days away from a complete financial turnaround. I have a game plan that anybody can go from 0 to 60 days, 2 months, to be making 5 figures a month and more. I know how to do it because I've done it multiple times. So remain focused. Don't get distracted. Just today I counted 6 different people attempted to recruit me into 6 different things. And even when I tell them that I am happy doing what I'm doing, oh no, I need to stop what I'm doing, jump ship, because if I join their team, they're going to show me how to make a lot of money. Really? Really? I mean, I don't even recruit. But to think that I got to be tracking people down in their inbox and shooting them messages and videos and telling them you got to be in crypto, I don't do that. All the people I've signed up, you can ask them, how did I sign them up? They'll be like, he didn't sign me up. I asked to join his team. It's a difference. All right, so let's cover a couple of things. So you like that? Yeah, when people ask what I bring to the table, I bring the damn table. You got to have that attitude and mentality. Have a worth for yourself. Nobody else can find value in you if you don't see value in yourself. What do you bring to the table? Tablecloth? A coaster? A quarter? No, I bring the table. All right, let's go over a couple of articles here. Let's see, what did I put down? Bitcoin dominates Fortune's most impressive young superstars list. Young superstars, huh? Let's see here. For the first time ever, Fortune magazine announced it has assembled a supplementary honor roll of the most impressive young superstars who are transforming business at the leading edge of finance and technology. they've selected 40 representatives from all over fintech, and each is under 40 years old. Among them are many cryptosphere leaders finally getting their due. Traditionally, Fortune's lists comprise go-getters from all sectors of commerce, be they CEOs or Academy Award winners. Indeed, the magazine just came out with their annual 40 under 40 list, and for sure cryptocurrency luminaries such as Vitalik Buterin and Brian Armstrong were among them. However, for the first time this year, Fortune supplemented their usual list with a special emphasis on financial technology leaders. Jihan Wu, 32, made the list. The magazine describes him as the undisputed king of cryptocurrency mining hardware and crypto mining pools. Beijing, China-based Bitmain recently reached a double-digit valuation in the billions. He, of course, has been known as a big proponent of Bitcoin Cash, a controversial fork of Bitcoin. Earlier this year, his company led a $110 million financing round for Circle, the crypto startup with the highest valuation in the U.S. Wu told Fortune earlier this year that he's interested in stable coins, virtual coins that have a fixed price. You know what that is? Tether, which is really the only one. The Euro's coming out with one called EURS, and I forgot the other country that's coming out with one as well. Virtual coins that have a fixed price, and that he plans to diversify Bitmain by developing AI chips. Amber Baldet, 35. Uh-oh, didn't I just do something on Where the Women At? Look at this woman right here. Amber Baldet, 35, is that rare new breed of CEO who can comfortably, seamlessly make her way between Wall Street and more radical elements of the ecosystem. She cut her teeth professionally at JP Morgan Chase, the magazine notes. She would eventually leave America's biggest bank this year to found a blockchain startup, Clover. While on Wall Street, she brought the hoodies, hacker coders, and the suits, bankers, together, and she led the team that built Quorum, an Ethereum-adapted blockchain built for business. Earlier this month, Baldet, who is an alum of the flagship Fortune 40 under 40 list, was appointed to the board of the Zcash Foundation, a non-profit group that governs the privacy-centric cryptocurrency Zcash. Look at that. See that, women? 35-year-old. She is knocking it out, but she's coming from the Wall Street world already. So she got a little bit of, resources under her belt and contacts to knock something out. Good evening to you, Lashana. Arthur Hayes actually asked his age not be documented? Huh? Why? I can see women saying that, but a dude, I don't want you to know my age. Never heard of that one before. He's known for thinking a bit different than his peers. The online magazine insists before Chicago Merc and CBOE entered the futures market, Mr. Hayes, BitMEX, a crypto derivatives marketplace that allows for leveraged bets of up to 100 times the principal on digital assets from Bitcoin to Cardano, mapped out a space for itself. It wished to be the most liquid crypto futures exchange, and by the end of last year, it handled an average of $2.1 billion in trades, the magazine insists. That's far more than the $50 million that changed hands with the CBOE on its first day of launch. Curiously, Mr. Hayes routinely offers he does not own any Bitcoin. That's weird. That's a weird one. Of note, as well as our own Bitcoin.com CEO Roger Ver, who's 39. As is the case with fellow lister Mr. Wu, Mr. Ver is an outspoken evangelist for Bitcoin Cash, the controversial fork. The magazine details of the Bitcoin network represents the big block version of the original Bitcoin blockchain, meaning it's designed to handle greater transaction throughput. He's fluent in Japanese. Ver runs Bitcoin.com from Tokyo and remains the epicenter of a large cryptocurrency community there. So, age ain't nothing but a number, right? Isn't that right, Kathy? 57? Bitcoin diva? I just turned 42. I ain't fazed by these 32-year-olds and 35-year-olds and 27-year-olds doing their thing. Knock it out. You're as old as you feel and allow. And it is never, ever too late to get started. Never too late. All right. Blockchain technology could save the world from another global economic crisis, says former JP Morgan big shot. This one really touches my heart. See, there's so many different industries within blockchain, and you notice different people seem to find their niche in it. My niche is in, I love to educate. I love anything geopolitics. I'm a political science major. I have a degree in that. I'm also a sociology minor. I love people and how they interact with each other. So my interest when it comes to Bitcoin and crypto, besides making money, is how it is impacting society. How is it impacting humans' interaction with each other? How is it making our lives easier and better? That's kind of what I like to. So when you see me read articles, you see that is what I focus on my articles. Even though I can read all the nerd stuff, that doesn't appeal to me. The algorithms, the white papers, I don't care about all that. But this right here is exactly what I care about. So I'm going to enjoy this article here. While many see nothing good in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, many others believe distributed ledger technology will revolutionize the world. It will. Peng Huadong, the former vice president of the North American Investment Banking Division at JP Morgan, is one of those people. Huadong, on July 22, 2018, said that blockchain technology might save the world from plunging into another financial crisis due to its ability to reduce financial risks. It looks like, ladies and gentlemen, I have a new quote to add to my stash. You guys know how I'm always reading quotes? I got a new one here from that one. In an interview with China Economic Times, Huadong, the honorary academic advisor of the Asian Blockchain Institute, noted that even though blockchain technology has its unique challenges, it still has enormous potential to strengthen the traditional finance system by reducing financial risks, fostering transparency, and reducing the cost of trust. The blockchain is essentially a technology that can be demediated or weakly intermediated, he said, and added, therefore, blockchain technology can build trust mechanisms at the lowest cost. According to Huadong, his days at JP Morgan's fixed income self-management department during the 2008 financial crisis opened his eyes to quite many capabilities of DLT. Huadong mentioned that the firm had more than $40 billion in assets at the time, with an average daily loss of $300 million. Do you hear that? Daily loss of $300 million. But that's a drop in the bucket compared to their doing $40 billion a day. This experience made him understand that blockchain technology may be the key to preventing another global economic meltdown. Limitless potential. You see that word there? Always read things like a lawyer. Adjectives. He used the word limitless potential for the future of the DLT, distributed ledger technology. Huadong, a graduate of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, concludes that the burgeoning technology has a lot to offer the world and that it's only a matter of time before blockchain technology achieves its full potential. Now the development stage of domestic blockchain technology is at a very early stage. Although it has experienced some relatively large fluctuations, the development prospects are limitless, Huadong concluded. While Huadong remains optimistic that blockchain technology is precisely the pill traditional finance systems need to stay healthy, some other heavyweight finance institutions think otherwise. Back in June, the Bank of International Settlement, which is the bank of central banks, released a report arguing that the blockchain can't perform on the same level with legacy databases, concluding that the DLT could crash the entire internet if it tries to process the volume of retail payments handled by centralized institutions. Similarly, BTC Manager reported in June 2018 that the chief technical officer of Israel's bank stated that blockchain technology is merely in a hype cycle and is just not extraordinary. Really? It's just not extraordinary? That's like people saying that the internet wasn't going anywhere and nobody was going to use email back in 1991. You guys remember AOL? How could you get online? You couldn't talk on the phone and be online at the same time. You try to call your friend up and you get that busy signal. If you were, you know what I used to do before we started having multiple lines in our house when I was a kid? My dad always had he had an office, right? And he had a fax machine. So what we figured out how to do is, we'll use the fax machine line to get on the internet so we don't have to use the house line. So if you had more than one line in the home, I remember I thought I was grown when I got my own phone line in my bedroom. So we had the house phone line when I still lived at home, and then I had my own phone line in my own bedroom and my own phone. I thought I was grown. The good old days. That's right, Lashana. I thought I was grown. Please, now my 10-year-old's like, I want a phone for my birthday. He turns 11 next week. And I'm like, you don't need a phone. You're only 10. And I go to his school, and there's second graders and third graders walking around with freaking cell phones. I'm like, oh, okay. We'll see about that. Anyways, let's go on to the next article here. Bitcoin ETF will lead to billions of new capital, but not in 2018. I'm 50-50 on this. I believe that we are going to end this year out strong. How strong? I don't know. I'm talking maybe in the $20,000 range. Why do I believe that? Because I believe the market is being manipulated by the CME and the CBOE and the futures. What is going to turn it around? 50% of it will be when the futures decide to start betting high instead of betting low, that they're doing right now. And also the ETF. Exchange traded funds. See, when the ETF hit gold skyrocketed. Same thing's going to happen with Bitcoin. When the ETF hits the Bitcoin market, you're going to have a whole bunch of institutional money come flooding in. The question is, how long will it take before that happens? And what happens if the futures continue to bet low at the same time as the ETF comes on? Now you got a 50-50 thing. But what happens if the futures start to bet high right when the ETF comes on? Then we're not talking 20 grand. We're talking 50 grand. 50 grand. If the futures and the ETF flip the script at the same time. All right, so let's read this. Oh, I got to put the article in the chat box. All right. The cryptocurrency industry has been highly anticipating the debut of a Bitcoin exchange-traded fund ETF by the end of 2018. This should happen between September and October, but some analysts believe it will not arrive until next year. What is the potential impact of a Bitcoin ETF? As a publicly traded instrument, a Bitcoin ETF has the ability to open a floodgate of capital. A floodgate. Okay, so before there was an ETF, Bitcoin got to almost 20 grand, and the entire coin market cap last year reached over $900 billion. That is without an ETF, without the futures. What do you think is going to happen when institutional money hits. Just got it, basic math here. Hence, investors who previously were reluctant towards investing in the cryptocurrency sector due to security and compliance concerns will likely invest in the cryptocurrency market through ETFs. As cryptocurrency investor and widely recognized content creator Nicholas Mertens said, "Here's why a Bitcoin ETF matters. With the release of an ETF, this allows investors to add Bitcoin to their retirement portfolio. Global pensions market. $41.3 trillion of Bitcoin captures just 1% of global pensions." You guys getting that? 41.3 trillion of BTC is only 1% of global pensions. What is Bitcoin's coin market cap right now? I shut it down. Let me pull it back up real quick. It is 140 billion. That is Bitcoin's cap right now. 140 billion. And the ETF is going to allow people to add it to their retirement fund, and the entire world, 41.3 trillion, is only 1%. You got to have vision, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of imagination. I have vision. I lack imagination, but I got vision. This says that would create $413 billion of exposure for cryptocurrencies. The majority of the investors, analysts, and researchers in both the cryptocurrency market and traditional finance sector have expressed optimism towards the approval of a Bitcoin ETF. Kevin O'Leary, aka Mr. Wonderful, one of the 4 stars of Shark Tank. By the way, Shark Week is going on right now, and tonight's special will be Shark Tank meets Shark Week. You can listen to this recording later on, Kathy. Shark Tank meets Shark Week tonight. I love freaking Shark Week. Anyways, says Kevin O'Leary, aka Mr. Wonderful, one of the 4 stars of Shark Tank, who has been skeptical towards the regulatory aspect of BTC since early 2017, has said that the approval of a Bitcoin ETF could potentially lead institutional investors to commit to the market in the near future. However, Brian Kelly, the CEO at BKCM and CNBC's Fast Money contributor, has said that the first Bitcoin ETF will not be approved within 2018. Well, that's not true. I mean, they just came out and said that the SEC said it's going to happen by September, October. So I don't know. I mean, you got some old information there, buddy. It says, given the history of the SEC delaying Bitcoin ETFs and any newly emerging asset class. He said, I also hope there is an ETF, but I think the chances of a Bitcoin ETF in 2018 are relatively low. There is still quite a few things, but that doesn't stop speculation on that. That's one reason why we've seen this bottoming process here from 5,800 to 8,500. I still believe it's going to go down again. I think there's going to be another market correction. What's going on, Don? You logging in from the beach out there with you and Steven, huh? Enjoying your vacation. All right, the Chicago Board's Options Exchange, one of the world's biggest options exchanges alongside CME Group, has recently filed a Bitcoin ETF application with the SEC to bring BTC to the public stock market in the U.S. Previously, the U.S. SEC justified its rejection of a BTC ETF by claiming the overseas cryptocurrency market lacked proper regulatory frameworks around cryptocurrency exchanges and the lack of financial institutions monitoring cryptocurrency trades. Over the past 12 months, overseas regulation on cryptocurrency has improved drastically, and as a strictly regulated exchange, the CBOE has extensively analyzed the impact of its BTC futures market on the global cryptocurrency sector. With the entrance of the CBOE into the Bitcoin ETF market, and the persistent efforts by the Winklevoss twins, Gemini, and SolidX, it is likely that the cryptocurrency market will see the approval of a BTC ETF relatively soon, but investors are skeptical towards an ETF by the end of 2018. Personally, I would like to see it hit in 2019. And I only say that for selfish reasons. The selfish reasons is I want more time to continue to hustle, to continue to make as much money as you possibly can, make more money from our investments, that we can continue to buy more Bitcoin while it's cheap. Because once this happens, there's no going back. You guys will be like, oh yeah, I remember when Bitcoin was less than $8,000. The good old days. Your kids are going to look at you like, yeah, did you get any? No, but I did go and try to buy a lottery ticket for that $500 million lotto that one person in San Jose won. So you bet our future on a lotto ticket, huh? But you didn't want to get in on the Bitcoin stuff because you didn't understand it, or you thought it was a scam. Or you listened to Warren Buffett. Speaking of, I always end, well, not always, but because I'm excited tonight, I'm in a good mood. I want to end with these quotes, but I'm also going to end giving you a game plan. Now, again, as a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor, but if you listened to the Facebook Live I did the other day, that was geared towards women. Where are the women at in the crypto space? How, as a woman, from a decision you make right now, that you could be making 6 figures a year 1 year from now, based on what you do right now, I gave exact step-by-step details on what to do. I'm going to give you 2 things right now again. Number 1, invest $300 in your crypto education. That's non-negotiable. Don't even attempt to try to invest in other stuff, but you're not willing to get educated. Invest the $300 in your education. You cannot unlearn what you learned. Nobody could take that away from you. It is priceless. $300 for cryptogenics. The second thing you can do right now, I don't advise it, I suggest it. Get yourself a GreenX mining rig. Why? Because that has the potential to bring you some income on a monthly basis without you having to do anything else besides you own the mining machine. There's no guarantee on what it's going to do or where it's going to go in the future, but we're talking about power. We're talking about something that is not a luxury, but a necessity. So get your hands on a mining machine. Those 2 things right there, you have a good start. And I want to end with this quote, or these quotes. If you're still on the fence on whether or not you want to get involved, because here's the thing. Either you do get involved right now and you profit from it, or you don't get involved. And one day you're going to wake up and you're going to see Bitcoin ATM machines all over the place, like LaShayna saw when she went into the gas station and there was a Bitcoin ATM machine. Or you're going to be driving around and going to a Starbucks and they're going to ask you for that we pay in crypto now, or we accept crypto. Or you're going to go into your job and your job is going to say you need a Bitcoin wallet because we're going to pay our salaries in Bitcoin now. You think I might just be making this up? Listen to these quotes. Blockchain technology could change our world more than people imagine. Jack Ma. See, if I had my camera on right now, I'd be giving you the side eye look like Jairus was doing earlier. Look into my eyes. Jairus, you're a fool, man. Jack Ma, richest man in China. What about this one? Blockchain massively lowers the barriers to creating tradable digital assets. It allows individuals who don't know each other or even trust one another to make irreversible transactions in a whole variety of fields in a safe and secure way. Stanford University. Blockchain solutions will boost transparency and governance, reducing fraud, and helping to build a better public goods infrastructure for improved organization and distribution of goods and public services. You know who said that? The Indian government. What about this one? Virtual currencies will become part of the economic practices of any country, anywhere. Let me repeat that. These currencies are not going away, and they will proliferate to every economy and every part of the planet. Some places, small economies, may become dependent on virtual assets for survival. And these currencies will be outside traditional monetary intermediaries like government banks, investors, ministries, or international organizations. We are witnessing a technological revolution. What's happening, Christy? Perhaps we are witnessing a modern miracle. Who is this? The 13th prophet? No, this is the CFTC chairman, Rostin Binham, calling it a modern day miracle. And last but not least, for those of you who still will not get involved, this is what's going to happen to you. Moreover, what we view as money has changed over time. Cowrie shells once were such a medium, but no longer are. Our currency originally included gold coins and bullion. But after 1934, gold could not be used as a medium of exchange. Perhaps one day employees will be paid in Bitcoin or some other type of cryptocurrency. What? Wait. Back up. Perhaps one day employees will be paid in Bitcoin or some other type of cryptocurrency. Oh, you know what? A light bulb just hit me right there on that. But you know who said that? Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer. Let me back up because something hit me I've read this quote a million times now, and something just hit me. That's last part. Or some other type of cryptocurrency. Do you know what that other type could be? The freaking Fed coin. It just hit me. Stephen Breyer's doing an okey doke on us right now. But at least he's admitting it. He's admitting it. This is the future. Your acknowledgement of it or participation is irrelevant and not necessary. However, we want you to get in on the game. So with that, I hope you guys have a nice evening. I'm going to be chilling out, watching Shark Week the rest of the night. A couple of phone calls. I'm going to show some people how can you make a lot of money in this space. And there's multiple ways of doing it in a relatively short period of time. But I always begin with education. Education is the first thing. All right, guys, I hope you learned something new. I did, and as always, that's the entire point. We'll see you tomorrow morning for early morning crypto talk. God bless. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye.
Cryptogenic.